Reviewing the ultra-hyped French Avenue Spectre Ghost, which is supposedly a good one-to-one clone of Nishane Ani. How close does it get to this fragrance? Who is it for? Is it actually as close as people say? Well, I'm gonna let you know in this full review and compare it to the OG. This Nishane Ani is a niche fragrance, so it's quite expensive.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
But is it really worth that? Well, let's discuss that as well, because there are a lot of things to Spectre Ghost that I think almost do it better. In fact, some people may even prefer this one to the original, which I'm going to discuss. So French Avenue Spectre Ghost was made in 2023. It was made in the UAE. Let's go over the presentation differences. I want to compare the two so you see what you're getting here. So when you actually get this fragrance, it comes in this box. Now, I think that this box is actually quite nice. Like, it's a kind of custom design. It's definitely a lot better than you get out of most designer or niche fragrance companies nowadays. The bottle, when it comes to you, it's actually just sitting like this. Presentation's quite nice actually, but when you look at Nishane Ani's presentation, Nishane Ani comes to you like this, okay? So you open up the sleeve and then this box opens up like this. There is a postcard inside, but it's sitting to you on this like kind of pillowed textured thing here. But I gotta say, like, the quality of the box is pretty much on par to this. This one's even a little bit heavier and slides out nicely just like this one. So presentation wise on the box, I think they're relatively the same. I do kind of like the Nishane postcard that comes with it. I don't know, the little things sometimes, especially when you're paying niche prices. Now, in terms of bottles, this is where you're gonna see a little bit of a difference here. The presentations of the bottles. Let's go over Nishane Ani first. This is the 50 ml. So it has this like plaque on the front, you know, you can see through there, and then the cap is quite heavy, quite nice, premium, kind of looks luxury because of the sleek look, and it's good quality. This one, I mean, some people are gonna think it looks a little gimmicky. Like, I think it looks kind of cool. I think it's also a little bit gimmicky as well. Basically, to this one, looks like metal, but there's like a bullet puncturing through the metal, so it's leaving it indented. It looks pretty cool, actually. If you look at the top of the cap, it says French Avenue, and then there's kind of a bullet going through there. Like, obviously, this is so stupid to complain about, but the one thing that never made sense to me is, like, this is looking like a bullet shot through something, except why is the casing still on the bullet? Like, if you know how bullet works, it doesn't make much sense for this magnum bullet or whatever this is supposed to be still attached to the bullet. I mean, before we go any further, I just want to mention to you one thing, which is going to play into the performance category, I think, is that Spectre Ghost is eau de parfum. Nishane Ani is extrait de parfum. Let's go under the hood. Let's compare the atomizers. So this is Nishane Ani's atomizer. Not the best avenue, but distributes evenly and actually quite nice. Spectre Ghost, pretty much the same atomizer. I think that this just kind of feels more luxury. This is more gimmicky, almost like designer-esque. I'd say they're tied in that sense. All right, so notes to Spectre Ghost. The top notes are ginger, cardamom, and bergamot, with middle notes of pink pepper, blackcurrant, and rose, and the base notes being vanilla, cedar, and patchouli. To really discuss the differences here, I need to discuss to you what both of these actually smell like. So I want you to picture almost like a vanillic kind of lemon gourmand cake with added spices, like fresh spice of ginger or pink pepper, which gives it this crisp, almost sweet, fresh spice. But there's this beautiful rose note that's sitting in the background, and picture pencil shaving-esque wood that sits underneath and supports all of this. When I actually got the original Nishane Ani, it was kind of said to be the best kind of vanilla fragrance on the market ever made. The thing with this fragrance though, is that this isn't just vanilla, neither is the other clone, in my opinion. It's more like a lemon bergamot mixture, which almost gives it a lemon cake smell. I don't think I can smell either of these and say that this is a vanilla bomb. It's just not. It's simply not. What this one smelled like to me is it basically just smelled like a unisex kind of men and women can both wear it, almost feminine leaning gourmand fragrance. So if you don't like gourmand fragrances and you don't like sweet kind of almost like dessert like fragrances, neither of these are going to be for you, and especially the clone, because what's the difference here? So this one, I found that basically in the opening, there is this thing that kind of is like a camphoric, almost like eucalyptusy camphor smell, kind of throws off the balance in my opinion. Like, the opening is a little bit harsh, kind of irritates the nose when you get up close and smell it. That's the one downside I said about this fragrance. This one, French Avenue Spectre Ghost, gets rid of that almost camphoric fresh spice smell. Focuses more on a creamy vanilla. This is what I get more out of this fragrance. It honestly deletes a little bit of the lemon cake smell and brings vanilla into the forefront, which in my opinion actually solved a lot of people's issues with Nishane Ani. The problem with that though is that people that are looking for the depth that they're getting out of Nishane Ani are not going to find it here. But in my opinion, people that are like gourmand lovers or someone that's looking for more of this attractive, almost compliment magnet type of fragrance, this one might be better. This one actually, in my opinion, may even pull slight more compliments because it just is a sweeter, less harsh smell, especially when you get up close. This one honestly smells smoother than Nishane, which is crazy because it's a clone or heavily inspired by fragrance. One thing I noticed is that this one actually shifts from opening to dry down, whereas this one just stays pretty much exactly the same. When you spray this one on, Spectre Ghost, it almost starts where the dry down of Nishane is. Like, this one settles, the camphoric scent profile settles. The fresh spice kind of camphoric smell tones down and it heads into the gourmand territory towards the mid of this fragrance. This one starts there. Towards the dry down of this, the way it progressed is we're getting a little bit more depth because it transitions from a gourmand to more cedar heavy and rose heavy. So I start to get this like pencil shaving-esque wood smell towards the dry down of this one, which again is deleted here. If you like more gourmands, this one's better. If you like the depth, the original Annie smells better, but is it really worth this price point? Because there's a huge price point difference here. So you can find Spectre Ghost on Fragrance Buy, which I will leave a link in the description for if you are looking to find this for the cheapest price, $45 Canadian, but this is actually an 80 ml. Nishane Ani is only a 50 ml, and I bought that for around 135 Canadian dollars just for the 50 ml. So price value wise, Spectre Ghost smashes it out of the park, especially for just a slight difference in scent profile. That's the issue with this, is because you're getting very, very close. Like, I'm talking very, very close to the point that someone that doesn't do this every day, someone that just smells these two out in the air, are probably gonna think that they're exactly the same. But in my opinion, I did ask another person that's outside of Fragcom, and she was able to tell me that this one is sweeter, which it is. Now, performance. In total, I got around 8 hours of Nishane Ani. Now, the first initial projection is very, very loud. Like 3+ feet, and the camphoric kind of fresh, spicy smell is kind of overtaking the immediate blast in the opening. But when it dries down, it's more of a date night-esque scent profile. It's something that you would wear to kind of, you would want to wear on a date night to grab positive attention, to bring someone in close. But that's why I would recommend the original, to wait for it to dry down a little bit. The first hour, this is a better projector, but then after the first hour, it comes about the same in projection. Now, however, after around 4 hours, I think I found that this one started to transition into a skin scent, and then around 6 to 8 hours, it was basically like you couldn't pick it up unless you went really close, and then 8 hours, this is gone. This one, I actually noticed a little bit less in terms of its projection and longevity. This one actually lasted on my skin 6 hours. Every time was a bigger projector, and it lasted slightly longer. However, for what you're getting here, I gotta say, Spectre Ghost is holding up quite nicely, especially since you get maybe an hour more out of the original, and this one's probably a lot more concentration of oil in here. I mean, only an hour difference, and you're getting almost a $100 difference in price when you buy both these on discounters. When I first started smelling French Avenue's products, I gotta say, it really changed my opinion on clone fragrances in general. I used to not really think clones were good. I used to think that they were harsh, they didn't smell nearly as good as the originals. Now we're getting shockingly close in terms of scent profile, performance, everything. It's almost scary. Like Stuart from Sense of Style, when I had him smell this, he actually preferred the smell of this over Nishane Ani. And some people will, because it is a gourmandy, more vanillic version of this one. So it's honestly shocking. Like what French Avenue was able to do here for such an affordable price, I have to commend that. No matter if they respond to my messages or not, I still gotta say that French Avenue's Spectre Ghost is a very, very good interpretation of Nishane Ani. Is it better though? That's up to you to decide. Personally, I do prefer the original Nishane Ani because I just think that even though I harped on the fact that it does have a little bit more camphoric, fresh, spicy vibes, I did like how this one transitions a little bit better. It wears a little heavier and it is a bit further projecting, it lasts a bit longer. Has a little bit more character in my opinion. But guys, French Avenue Spectre Ghost has the Chad Secrets seal of approval if you are looking for a good replacement of this masterpiece of a fragrance. It's a banger, man. French Avenue hit it out of the park again. Let me know what you guys prefer better between these two in the comments below. I would love to hear your opinions, even if you're a clone hater or not. So I gave Nishane Ani an 8.25 out of 10, which I actually think I should have given a higher mark, honestly. I think it should have been an 8.5 or an 8.75. I think I actually gave it that accidentally. Since I can't take back the 8.25 I gave this, I'm gonna give French Avenue's Spectre Ghost an 8 out of 10. It's only a 0.25 difference, not even a whole point difference. So let me know in the comments below which one you prefer between these two. I highly suggest you check out the review I did for Liquid Brune by the same company right here, because that one gets even closer to the original than this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you over there.